What's up guys, my name is Phil. Welcome back to Miranda Detailing. In today's video, we're going to show you guys how to use the cordless polisher on a mobile job. So we're going to do a full exterior on this vehicle. We're going to wash it, prep it, and then machine apply a sealant or wax. We'll see what sealant or wax we choose today. It's going to be something that is sun friendly because we're working in partial sun, partial shade. And then we're going to test out how this machine does with applying waxes and sealants. So let's start the show. So let's get started.
If you want to check out a full explanation of our wash process, click on the card above.
So the paint is nice and clean. We washed it, we clay barred it with the clay towel as we're washing, and now the paint is nice and smooth. And we did have some protection on here. I actually forget what we put on here. It was quite a few months ago because this is a friend's vehicle of ours and I already forgot what I put on here, but it's actually hanging on just a little bit. So some panels are dead, some panels are beading a little bit more than others, but now we're going to hand dry it and we're also going to blow dry it. So let me show you how we do that with our setup. So usually we would have our generator going at this point and this would be pulled out and the door would be pulled back, but we have our little dog hair groomer blower here attached to the inside of the trailer, and I have a 30-foot hose. So I'm going to detach the hose and turn the blower on, and as she is hand drying with the towel, I'm going to blow dry all the cracks and crevices. Oh, I guess we're going to switch. She's going to blow dry all the cracks and crevices and I'm going to hand dry with the towel. So now we're going to hit all of these plastics here with Stoner's Trim Shine. And this is a really nice product to use. It's very easy to get into all of those difficult slats and plastic under here. And some of these vehicles have a lot of plastic. So it'll get into those grills and all that stuff, if that is plastic. That I think is actually painted. But all this is plastic down here. Hi, buddy. All right, so we're going to try a different product for the cowl here. It's pretty dry. It's not completely chalky, but it does need to be restored. So we're going to be using Renew Protect Black. So this is a trim restore and it does have some dye in it. So it's going to restore the black back to the plastic and pretty much coat it. So we'll apply it with a little sponge here. It is very runny, but it should produce a nice finish once we're done. You can already see it starts to soak into the plastic. Definitely wear gloves because it does have the black dye in it. But yeah, you work it into the plastic and let it dry. And you might want to put an extra coat on it once it dries, but it should dry to the touch and restore that plastic. You can already see it makes a big difference on the passenger side, and here's the driver's side that's slightly dry. So you can see the line right there. So for the rest of the trim, we're going to use this Pinnacle Trim Restore. This is a really nice product. I have another video that we demonstrate how to use this on a faded out Jeep Wrangler, an old Jeep Wrangler that has really faded trim, and it restores it to like new. So it does a good job at restoring and protecting. Really nice. Just make sure to even it all out and then wipe it off and you'll be good to go. So for the Renew Protect, it was a little difficult to apply on this plastic. It was very uneven. So we went ahead and applied the Pinnacle Trim Protectant onto the cowl. It just went right over it and actually it evened it out. So the other stuff did kind of bring the black back, but it was an uneven look. So we're going to apply the trim protectant right over it from Pinnacle, and it evens it out, makes it look really nice now. So All you need to do is just knock it down. Now the finish looks nice and even. So yeah, oh, it's much better. So guys, we're on to the protection stage. Now we're going to wax the paint with our cordless polisher. So you've already seen this in a couple of the videos that we've posted, and I'm really excited about using this little guy because no cords. Don't have to plug into the generator, don't have to plug into the house. The batteries are all charged up. It comes with 2 of them, and it also comes with these nice pads. Now, I'm not a fan of the little triangle pattern in here. If they were flat, I think it would have been better. But you can buy these SPTA pads flat-faced anyway. So what we're going to use for protection is the Meguiar's Hybrid Ceramic Liquid Wax. This stuff is awesome. It's sun-friendly, and it just melts right into the paint and produces some amazing results. Ooh, smells really good. So we put a couple of drops on the pad. We have the nice red soft pad on here. It's already set to the lowest speed, so we're just going to apply it onto the paint.
When we machine apply any waxes or sealants in this way, we're not really putting any pressure or polishing the paint. We're simply applying the product evenly. Using a pad like this in machine applying, however, does add some mechanical cleaning action, so it does increase gloss and slickness.
So you can see a little bit of it there. It kind of melts into the paint really easily, and you can let it sit there for a couple of minutes. And since we're in direct sunlight, the heat, it flashes off quicker and it wipes off really smooth. Oh, that feels nice. Oh yeah. So guys, we're going to revisit this panel here because it has some really bad bird balm etching. Now I don't know if this is going to come out completely. This panel was actually repainted, and I think that bird balm got on there too early and it may have already left some damage. So what we're going to do is switch out the pads on our polisher from the red soft pad to a heavy compounding pad. So the green one here from SPTA is their compounding pad. It is definitely got some firmness to it. So we'll see if we can polish this out and make it look much better. If not, remove it completely, but I doubt it's going to be able to be removed completely. So I'm going to use some polish here. This is from Detailing Products, so DP, Detailing Products. I'm just going to put a small amount, and I'm not using a compound because I'm doing what's called a half-step compounding pad with a polish, so somewhere in between. I'm going to crank the speed up on this and see if we can polish this out and make it look better. Okay, that's not too bad. And here it's pretty bad and etched in there. Oh yeah, nice. All right, so did that work? Yeah, it did a really good job. There's still some light etching. You can barely see it there. It's a little bit here, and still a little bit up here. So even up here, we were able to really reduce it to the point where it's really hard to see even where it was. It was somewhere in there. All right, so that's great. So now I'm going to slap the red pad back on, re-wax it. I know I already waxed it, but I had forgotten about it until I buzzed over it, so it's not a problem. This removes any wax anyway. So you can use whatever polish you like. Medium cutting pad, it will cut and finish very well. So awesome results. Great. So we just buzzed around the vehicle, and that took me less than 10 minutes, and everything is waxed, and now we're just wiping it down so it's glossy, it's slick. And if you had any marring from the clay mitt or clay bar or clay towel, whatever you're using to mechanically decontaminate, then this will take care of any of that light marring. And you can see I didn't even need a ladder to apply it. I will need a ladder to wipe it off, but I could reach all the way to the middle and still apply the wax with no problem. So for mobile detailers, this thing is a win. So now we're using just a little bit of last touch. This is a spray detailer. It's great to use on the glass because it does have some polymers in it and it will bead water on the glass. Is that it? Did you just finish the glass?
And it smells good too.
Yeah, it smells really good. So guys, don't forget the little bits like this. Just use a little microfiber applicator or whatever your method is, or whatever applicator that you want, and get into all these little areas where the polisher couldn't get to. So the polisher was able to get in here, but not under here. So I will go back and hit all these little areas because I know the polisher didn't hit them enough. All right, now we're on to wheels and tires. And what we're going to use for the tires is CarPro Pearl. I'm using it straight and I put a little squeeze top on here, and I like to apply it to a brush because this tire especially has a lot of lines and lettering, and I don't like how they put these lines here on the surface of the tire. It's kind of annoying, but the brush does get into them and makes it look much, much better. I don't freak out about not getting the dressing into every single line perfectly because that's just way too tedious. I think it's just not that big of a deal to do that. As long as you get the surface of the tire nice and coated and work it into the lines just enough, it will be fine. It will kind of melt into the rubber and it'll look really, really nice. And I'm using it straight because I like to use it straight. I actually will use it straight on plastics, and I think it produces a really, really nice result. And I don't think it's that shiny. So you can always knock it down with the towel. Even with the tire, if you don't like the gloss, just knock it down with the towel. You're just removing the top excess layers, and the protection of the product is still there, but you've knocked down the gloss level. And if you want it to be glossier, then let this dry and apply another layer, and it'll get glossier and glossier. And I like the look of this type of gloss also. I think it just makes the tire look nice and new. Now I'm going to use Meguiar's Express Spray Wax on the wheel itself, and this does kind of clean them up a little bit further, adds some protection and adds gloss. And I just like it as a final touch on the wheels. Just gives them a little bit of extra pop. And will it make them really easy to clean next time? Well, that all depends. Depends on brake dust, depends on how bad the vehicle is. Lots of different factors, but it should be easier to clean next time. This stuff flashes off really easily, really fast. And now the wheel is done and it looks awesome. Let's move on to all the others. Okay, the Highlander is done. So that's our typical exterior only detailing process when we are mobile. So there might be a few things that we'll add on to vehicles, such as iron removal or tar removal. If there's extra things like that, then we'll go into those steps also. But not every vehicle needs that, so I don't needlessly use those chemicals just for the sake of using them. If it needs it, if I see it on the paint, then I use it. Otherwise, washing and using a clay bar, clay mitt, or clay towel and mechanically decontaminating the paint is going to make it nice and smooth and then you're going to apply your wax, sealant, whatever you're going to apply on your mobile job. So guys, when it comes to the polisher here, I am raving about this little polisher. I love it for mobile settings like this. The pads that come with it are actually pretty decent. As you saw, we used the red one for waxing, then we used the green one for some heavy compounding. Did a really good job at removing the bird droppings that had etched into the paint, and it looked beautiful. So this little machine only used barely half of its life on the battery. That's just one battery. So you can at least do 2 cars in one day, or up to 4 cars in one day, because you have 2 batteries. So just switch it out and use the other battery. So I'm gonna mount that battery charger in my trailer and always have the batteries ready to go. So guys, if you're interested in any of the tools, the polisher, the pads, the waxes that we used, any of the products that you saw, even some of the things in our mobile setup, I'll have them listed down below. If you don't see them, just reach out to me and I will send you some links and show you where to purchase some of those items. So guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you have any questions or comments, put them down below. Subscribe if you haven't already and click that bell. That way you get notifications each time these videos drop each week and you don't miss stuff. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great week.